Welcome to the Accessibility Guide channel. Today, we're going to take a PowerPoint and make it fully accessible. Now, but before we begin, there are a few best practices for making a PowerPoint accessible. The first is to make sure you are using a built-in theme. Now, I created this theme customly, and it is mostly accessible. We want to make sure all of our images have alternate text. Every slide should have a unique title. List elements are properly identified within the PowerPoint. Links are properly formatted. Any tables use table headers, and the reading order is set. So in this example, I'm actually going to launch the accessibility checker first because this is the one program that it is more accurate in. So to do that, I'm going to select the File button, and then select Info, and then select Check for Issues, and then Check Accessibility. This will bring up a list of errors that need to be fixed within this document. And it looks like I have some missing alternate text. So I'm going to go through some of these errors and let's just begin. So this is an image that needs some alternate text, and I can say a screenshot from Adobe Acrobat with a parent figure tag on display. And then we can move back to the accessibility checker and move on to the next element. And we can simply keep editing the alt text. A screenshot from Adobe Acrobat's tag tree where a parent and child tag are separated. Where a parent and child tag are connected, not separated. And now if I wanted to, I could actually just go through the images. And here's a good example. On slide 2, it automated alternate text for me. So I'm going to say a headshot photo of Sean Jordison. But before we get to that, take a minute to hit that like and subscribe button. Now back to the video. And in this example, I have two hyperlinks on the page. I have the accessibility guide on YouTube and www.theaccessibilityguide.com. This is a rare instance that I'm going to leave the full URL, as this is a document that I present to different companies, and I want my hyperlink active. If I really wanted to make it accessible though, I would move that link somewhere else. I could say like the Accessibility Guide website and then use that link text instead. But again, because this is a presentational document, I'm going to leave that hyperlink in there. Let's move on to the next slide. We have a slide title and then a built-in list. I can tell that the list item is working properly. And then we have another title with list, another title and list, another title and list. Let's keep going. I have a feeling all of my images are missing alternate text. So we're just going to double check some of these. And in this example, I can actually mark this image decorative because I have a detailed description on the page. So I have number 1, the parent tag H1, that's indicated in the screenshot, the child tag container. So the image really isn't adding a whole lot. And this is an example that I can mark it decorative. And so I'm just going through, selecting the image and as decorative. And I'm going to keep moving through my slides. Again, this is decorative because I have detailed alt text on the page. Alt text is good on these ones. All right, and we're almost near the end here. Okay, now let's check the accessibility checker again. And now we only have 2 warnings where we need to check the reading order of the slide. So the best way to do this is to open up reading order. So I'm going to type in reading in the find menu and select display the reading order pane. And this allows me to walk through the contents to ensure that everything is in the right order. Now, I can already tell that the slide number needs to be at the very bottom. So I'm going to select the slide number and use the little arrows to move it. And then if we go back to the accessibility checker, we can determine that that actually fixed the reading order issue. Let's check out slide 20 and we can select the reading order panel again. We have the title, we have content, and then the slide number, and then the picture. I want the slide number read last. If we move back up to the accessibility checker, we now have a document that does not contain any errors. So typically I recommend not to rely on accessibility checkers, but PowerPoint is a little more fine-tuned and the actual requirements for 508 are a little easier to implement within PowerPoint. If you would like more detailed PowerPoint accessibility walkthroughs, check out the playlist linked below, and I will see you next time.